Welcome to UPTOWN Studio. This is Ashlei Stevens, your host here, with the beautiful and always so stylish, award-winning singer and songwriter, Bridget Kelly. How you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
You are fantastic, and you always look fantastic too.
Thank you.
You always
Thank you
look
so much.
fantastic.
I appreciate that.
What's been going on these days?
Man, traveling. I'm getting ready to go on this little EOS tour with my label mates Elijah Blake and Melanie Fiona, so that's really exciting. So I've been rehearsing for that.
Okay.
Just gearing up to put some new music out in a couple months. Yeah.
Awesome. And you're with Roc Nation.
I am.
How did that come about?
Well, I'm from New York City originally, and I always wanted to be a part of a New York label. You know, growing up, obviously, I'm a big Jay fan, so it was like, okay, we either got to be on Rockefeller or we got to be on Bad Boy. We got to be on some New York label. It's got to go down. And you know, I pursued them heavily. Constant, persistent chase, if you will. Constant pursuit for about 6 months, and then finally made some headways.
What did that feel like? Especially since you had been working so hard to, you know, to make it just to the next level.
It was really just, it was icing on the cake for me. It was icing on the cake because I had to still keep working hard. I mean, the day that I found out I was getting signed, I was working at a gym, and I still went back to the gym that day to go to work. I was like, all right, this is great, but I'm not seeing a check yet, so I'm going to go ahead and take myself to work. And, you know, we can talk about it later. But it was really, it was a beautiful thing because it just felt really validating. You know what I mean? It validates all the hard work that goes into it. I was doing open mics and auditions, and I had one of those little amps with the microphone, and went down to the subway and was singing on the subway platform. So it was a grind. It was definitely a grind.
And it paid off for you.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
You have toured with some of the biggest names. Obviously, you worked with Jay.
Yes.
And you worked with Mary J. Blige and performed with Mario.
Yes.
What has been the learning experience for you? What have you learned from each of these artists along the way?
There's such a humility and a grace that surrounds Mary that I think being on tour with Mary J. Blige this summer really just showed me a very peaceful side to the business. I mean, with Jay, obviously he's a massive worldwide hip hop star and mogul, and so you know his energy is so different than Mary. You know, Mary's a woman, so there's a really a beauty about her that, you know, I can only hope to embody when, you know, once I get to that level of, you know, of fame. So I mean, with Jay, it was just having fun. Like Jay really just has fun doing what he does all the time. And I remember being on tour with him and getting sick, and him being like, hey man, when you're sick, you still got to do it. You still got to show up and give 150%. So I was out there post nasal drip like, New York. And, you know, it was bad, but it made me appreciate those moments. It really, I've had a chance to really just, you know, share my gift on so many big stages and small stages too, and I'm grateful for it all.
That has to be an awesome feeling to wake up and to get to do that every day.
Yes, absolutely.
That is awesome.
It is.
Where's your favorite place that you've traveled so far? What have you discovered about yourself and being able to travel to places outside of New York?
Favorite place to travel? I'm a foodie. I love food.
You and me both.
So France is probably my favorite place.
Nice.
France, I think, and Japan are probably my two favorite places. Japan, just because the people are so polite, and the sidewalks and the crosswalks are so massive. Obviously, we're in New York, so New York is like, you know, everybody's on a mission. It's like worker ants, just pissed off. Like, get out of the way. Everybody's doing their own thing. In Japan, they step out of your way. Like, you're walking in the street not because they're scared of you, but it's just a politeness. They do with each other too. They just gradually move to the side. It's a very, it's a very polite, respectful, very honorable way about them as a people, and the food is phenomenal. And France, the food, best food I've ever had in my life.
Ever had in your
life.
life.
Had. Best wine, best cheese, best bread, all the things I'm not supposed to have in abundance. In France, that's where we make an exception.